Gun violence is rising in Canada, and they're blaming the US. Yes, they're saying this is America's fault for why the violence is rising in Canada. They're saying more and more guns are being smuggled in from the United States. I'm going to go ahead and play this audio from NPR. A bill before Canada's parliament would freeze the sale, import, and transfer of handguns. It would also increase penalties for smuggling firearms. As Emma Jacobs reports, one of the most difficult challenges for Canada is not necessarily the guns at home, but the guns being smuggled across its border with the United States. Just go up on my desk. You're going to see, please. Reverend Sky Starr asked her son to grab a printout from her desk. The latest gun violence figures released by Toronto police. Starr counsels families of victims of gun violence. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Canada's rate of gun homicides is still about a tenth of the United States, but shootings have been trending upwards. Gun homicides are even worse. It's a 66.7% increase. And as of the beginning of June, she reads, homicides, mostly committed with handguns, had risen sharply in the past year. Just a few weeks ago, Starr says, she led a funeral for a 24-year-old who had been shot. When I saw that she was kneeling at the casket, he was praying. The next morning, she says, she learned he'd been shot and killed overnight. Even for me, knowing that this could happen at any time, I couldn't even fathom that. Canada's latest proposed gun control bill would cap the domestic handgun supply, freezing new sales and transfers. But it also notably raises penalties for smuggling guns. Our problem in Toronto are handguns from the United States. Toronto Police Service Deputy Chief Myron Demkew spoke during parliamentary hearings on gun violence in February. For Toronto and other police forces, one of the biggest priorities is more effective controls at the border. In 2021, 86% of crime handguns that could be sourced were from the United States. Gun violence doesn't look the same across Canada. In rural areas, shootings most often involve shotguns or rifles. Ju Young Lee is an American sociologist who studies gun violence, now a professor at the University of Toronto. The laws in many states very near the border are quite porous and easy to circumvent if you want to possess a gun and then reroute it into the illicit market. He says the other priority should be prevention, especially in the areas where handgun violence occurs most. Racially marginalized, underserved communities. And so that would mean investing in those places, supporting young people. It tends to be young men who are at the greatest risk of being an offender or a victim in a shooting, so that they don't go down that path. These were precisely the sorts of programs disrupted by the pandemic, says Adette Shepard, who became an anti-violence advocate after her own son, Justin, was shot in 2001. A lot of young people basically were kind of just left on their own. By the time somebody gets caught breaking those legislations, somebody's child is already dead. So I am still on the fence. Another parent turned activist is Ken Price. His daughter, Samantha, was one of 15 people shot in the busy Danforth neighborhood of Toronto in July of 2018. She survived, but two victims died. The gunman's handgun turned out to have been stolen from a shop in another province. Guns are coming across the border illegally from the United States, but taking the handguns out of the domestic supply will definitely help in Canada. It's just that simple. And he hopes it will be preventative to keep Canada from ever approaching the number of mass shootings in the United States. Which was already offensive and shocking and frightening, quite frankly, as a permanent state in society. Canada can't control America's gun laws. It can change its own. But as long as there's a thriving gun market in the United States, the challenge will be enormous. For NPR News, I'm Emma Jacobs in Montreal. So, ladies and gentlemen, their gun violence. You heard what they said. They don't want all the mass shootings like they have in the United States. I guess they don't want. I guess they're looking at you, U.S., and say, "I definitely don't want to be like you." So, Canada is warning the public of the rising gun violence that's going on up there. And, they're saying it is a public health crisis. with lasting repercussion. So it's definitely jumping up in Toronto. I have been to Toronto before. And they said the police reported 201 shootings this year up until June, and they said the homicides have risen 29% in Canada from last year. And this time last year, it's up 15% in June. Mm-mm-mm. I guess America is a bad influence, huh? So they said they are trying to get everything under control. They don't want it to, of course, get beyond what it is in the U.S. I guess the U.S. can respond. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Isn't that what y'all say, or something like that? So, U.S. guns don't just kill Americans; they kill Canadians as well. That's what they're saying. And I guess people are making a killing smuggling all them guns up into Canada, and they said, it's going to be a tough thing trying to get these guns from coming illegally across the border from the US, but they got their work cut out for them. But they are willing to do what it takes to stop all of this activity coming into Canada. And you heard what they say. They don't want Canada to turn into the United States. I guess that doesn't make you look good, America. But you can best believe, y'all, whoever's doing this, I'm sure it's more than one person. It's probably rings of people that are smuggling these guns up there. And hey, if the violence is going up, that means the Canadians are buying those illegal guns that are coming in from the US. So you may want to look at that too. Isn't this the same prime minister that went in blackface? This Justin Trudeau? Yes, he is. I don't know, Justin. Maybe that's karma working against you now. But y'all, please tell me what you think about Canada saying the reason why their gun violence is going up is due to all the guns being smuggled in from the United States. And they said they don't want your mass shootings either. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.